It's the NFL on CBS Week 6 as we join you from the Mile High City, Denver, Colorado. The Broncos at 5-0 hosting the 0-5 Jacksonville Jaguars. Denver and Kansas City remain unbeaten in the AFC West. The Chiefs and the Raiders late in that head-to-head matchup. And we welcome you to the broadcast booth. Ian Eagle along with Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp, Dan Fouts. NFL Today road trip. So Shannon is back in the city that he called home for 12 years, and this is a city that is experiencing Manning mania right now. Peyton Manning, Dan, is putting up numbers that we just haven't seen before through 5 games.
Well, I told him yesterday that he's making it look too easy. Yeah. And he says it's because of the execution, and he's impressed by the way all the players come to practice every day trying to get better. You know, we always hear that saying, we all want to be on the same page. Well, they're all reading the book of Manning, and it is a bestseller, as you can tell by these numbers.
Well, we know with Jacksonville, still looking for its first win of the season. Shannon, if you're Gus Bradley, you have the daunting task of playing Peyton Manning and the Broncos. How do you plan on stopping this offense?
I play dime defense, 4 down linemen, 1 linebacker, 6 defensive backs. I'm going to take the ball. I'm going to coach them into putting the ball in Knowshon Moreno's hand. I know what Peyton can do. We've seen it through the first 5 weeks of the season. Second, no scoring drives under 10 plays, because the longer you have the football, the longer you possess it, the greater the chance you are to turn it over. And third, prayer. When the first two fail, prayer never hurt anybody.
Was that on the board? He put that on the board.
Yes.
The Broncos and the Jaguars here in Denver. Today's game being broadcast in Spanish. We're available using the SAP button on your television. And our weather, 62 degrees here in Denver. Blue skies, partly cloudy is the forecast the rest of the way. Denver won the toss. They have deferred to the second half. So Jacksonville will receive it to open up. Matt Prater will kick it off to the return man, Jordan Todman for Jacksonville. We're underway from Denver. And that kick is a mile high. Jacksonville will have it at the 20-yard line to open things up. No Blaine Gabbert. Gabbert sitting this one out with a right hamstring injury, so the veteran Chad Henne gets the start for Jacksonville here today.
Yeah, he told us yesterday that he must provide some enthusiasm to get his teammates to play their best. He knows it's going to have to be a perfect game to have a shot at a colossal upset, but consistency, a consistent leader is what the Jaguars need out of number 7 today.
Henne now in his 6th year in the NFL, formerly a starter with the Miami Dolphins. On 1st and 10, bootleg. Henne looking to throw it against the grain. Had his man open, but not on the same page. Trying to hook up with Clay Harbor as we take a look at the offense for Jacksonville. Starting offensive line. Right now it's a patchwork group with Cameron Bradfield in at left tackle. Austin Pastor is in at right tackle. Backs and receivers. Cecil Shorts has been a difference maker this season. Justin Blackmon is back in the lineup after the 4-game suspension and came back with big numbers last week. 5 catches, 136 yards, and a touchdown. Again, the rollout. Blackmon getting involved and towards the sideline, out of bounds across the 25. It's a 6-yard pickup. Defensively for Denver, they have received criticism, especially after the 51-48 shootout against Dallas. Terrence Knighton, he's a former Jaguar, drafted in the 3rd round in 2009. Paris Lennon is getting the start at middle linebacker for Wesley Woodyard, who's out with an injury. And in the secondary, Champ Bailey makes his 2013 debut. Bailey had been sitting out with a left foot injury that he suffered back on August the 17th at Seattle in preseason. 3rd and 4. Henne throws. It's high and incomplete. So Chad Henne trying to hit Shorts, and Shorts is down. 3 and out for Jacksonville.
Really tight coverage by Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie. Looks like he's going to land right on Shorts as this ball thrown a little bit too far out in front. That's a bad sign for Jacksonville if Shorts can't play. They just get Blackmon back last week, and now Shorts looks like he's going to be out for a while.
Shorts in his 3rd year. He's on pace to catch 99 balls this season. In the absence of Blackmon, he really stepped forward. They believe they've got a good, solid receiving core moving forward.
You really hate to see a guy land like that. What's called teacupping. I've landed twice on my shoulder like that, guys. I broke my collarbone once. I separated my shoulder the other time. So let's just hope he's able to get off the field and get back as soon as possible.
Cecil Shorts the third, making his way to the Jacksonville sideline. Meanwhile, the Jaguars will punt on the opening possession with Brian Anger and the dangerous Trindon Holiday standing at the 24. A pile up on a fake. Shannon, you talked about this in the pregame. You don't know what to expect with a desperate 0-5 team. But they do not convert, and they just handed Denver the football at the 26-yard line.
Looks like it's Will Taafo who's going to be the return man, or the up man on the play, and the Denver Broncos ready for it. Shannon, it's almost as if they heard your scouting report.
Not at this juncture of the game, Dan. Not at this position on the field. Maybe at midfield, maybe at the 45-yard line going in, but not at the 26-yard line.
So Denver now deep in Jacksonville territory. Manning off the play fake. Tried the dump off, and it's incomplete. Knowshon Moreno, the intended receiver, over the middle. Peyton Manning, the numbers: 20 touchdowns in 5 games. Just 1 interception. He threw that his first of the season last week against Dallas. 414 yards, 4 touchdowns in that 51-48 win. High tempo for Denver. Knocked up in the air and a chance at an interception. Geno Hayes could not bring it in, and a penalty marker thrown. Jeff
Holding
Triplett.
number 75 of the offense. 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
Yeah, if Geno Hayes makes this catch, he may go the distance, because there was just Peyton Manning and him out in the flat there. Ball juggled up into the air. That would have been a huge play for the Jaguars.
The Jags have missed 2 golden opportunities. You saw the play on first down. They had the guy wide open, and a play like that. When you're a decided underdog, you need all those plays.
They are the biggest underdog in NFL history, according to the odds makers. Chris Clark picks up the penalty, and it's incomplete. Maurice Thomas underneath the intended receiver, defended by Alan Ball. And this is not something that Denver Bronco fans are accustomed to. Denver having a tough time getting out of the gate on offense.
Well, really tight coverage here this time by Ball. Gets a good legal chuck on Thomas, and then is right there when the ball arrives.
So 3rd and long now for Denver. Shotgun for Manning. 4 receiver set. On 3rd and 20. Manning, little flip over the middle. Moreno will do the rest. Knowshon Moreno inside the 10 on a catch and run. .29 yards. Cyprian, the young safety, couldn't bring him down.
Really well designed. Watch the receivers come and form a screen down the field for Moreno as he releases out of the backfield. He got 3 blockers right in front here. That is just a beautifully designed and executed play.
John Fox talked about how Moreno has really matured as a person. He's become more dependable. They know they can trust him. And the biggest key, he's excellent in pass protection. Manning to Moreno, finding the running lane. Good block up front from Manny Ramirez. 6-yard gain.
Well, we talked to Gus Bradley yesterday. He says he's going to play a lot of cover 2. Make Peyton Manning be patient. Would he be patient enough to take the check down? He was on that last drive and last play and picked up 29 yards on the first down.
Yeah, as creative a screen pass as I've ever seen, with 3 receivers out in front of the ball carrier, Moreno, and he picked up that first down with ease.
One of the largest fullbacks you'll ever see. Mitch Unrein, 306 pounds, is in there. Handed to Moreno. And Moreno is stacked up. Unable to turn inside and get the space he needed. Give him a gain of 1. It's 3rd and goal.
Really good job of stringing that one out to the sidelines. Unrein out in front, but he could not clear the way for Moreno.
So keep Moreno in there. 3rd and goal. Denver looking to get on the board here. Take the handoff. Manning throws. Wide open. Touchdown. Julius Thomas. Manning gets the tight end involved, and Denver goes in front.
Well, the play fake right up in here. Manning comes out. Nobody play fakes better than Peyton Manning. In fact, nobody's playing a position better than Manning right now. A little end-over-end pass to Thomas. Big shot on Manning by Cyprian there, but too late. Touchdown Broncos.
So the QB to the tight end. 2-yard touchdown. Prater on for the extra point. Peyton Manning, 204th career game with at least one touchdown. He has just passed Dan Marino, our colleague, for second all-time. Manning taking a big shot on the touchdown strike. Sixth play, 27-yard drive. That was after Jacksonville turned it over on downs, going for it on fourth down with a fake punt. Julius Thomas already 7 touchdown receptions for a guy that was a non-factor his first 2 years in the league because of injury. Prater kicking it off, and Todman is deep. He's not going to touch the football, and Jacksonville will have it at the 20-yard line, down 7-0.
And Shannon, how about their third down conversions? 58%, best in the league coming in on that drive, 2 for 2 for Peyton and company.
You can't let a team pick up 3rd and 20. That's unacceptable. You need to get off the field in that situation. Make them settle for a field goal. You have to give them 3. You can't give them 7.
And it was a check down pass too. It wasn't a bomb down the sidelines or anything.
Exactly.
Gus Bradley in his first year as a head coach in the NFL, formerly the defensive coordinator in Seattle. Still looking for his first win, and that was ugly. A busted play. Chad Henne faking the handoff and then trying to move it up the field. Faked out nobody, and Nate Irving getting into the backfield.
I'm not sure if he was looking to hand this ball to Maurice Jones-Drew, but Maurice Jones-Drew wasn't expecting it. So really a horrible start so far for the Jaguars.
Wasn't expecting or didn't want it.
He might have seen trouble coming. No, you can keep it, QB. And now a timeout. Wow.
So Henne takes the timeout with his team down 7-0. And Jacksonville already in a hole.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Chili's $20 dinner for 2. And by Bud Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL.
Welcome back. Sports Authority Field at Mile High. 7-0. Denver leading Jacksonville. Chad Henne calling a timeout. That was after what appeared to be a busted play on a 2nd and 14. Shorts has a shoulder separation, potentially strained shoulder, and his return is questionable. So Ace Sanders will see more time in this offense. Sanders on the receiving end. We'll also see Mike Brown, first-year wideout from Liberty. That's a 9-yard gain for Jacksonville. Jacksonville at 0-5. Indianapolis 4-1, the cream of the crop in the AFC South. Houston, they got belted earlier today by St. Louis. 3rd and 5 now for the Jaguars. Working out of the gun, Henne. Looking for their first down. Henne in stroke, and he's got Blackman down the sideline. Blackman with a fake, and they'll move the chains for Jacksonville. 22 yards on the hookup.
Well, I'm looking at a situation like, I'm looking at Champ Bailey, a situation like this. You know he's going to run the shallow cross. You know he's going to run it, but it's a great rub. What a stick with the ball, Blackman. Great run. They could ill afford to go out another 3 and out, Dan. That would have been devastating.
Yeah, a little bit of a pick there by Ace Sanders was all he needed to get separation.
And you saw the abilities of Blackman even on that play. He just changes their offense, gives them a big play option. Flag is down. Jeff Triplett once again.
It's a challenge flag from John Fox. What a challenge to see where perhaps Blackman might have stepped out of bounds.
Before gaining control?
Before he got the first down, maybe.
So Triplett is going to have a conversation with John Fox. So Blackman trying to stay in bounds, and did he touch the white? Looked like he was able to straddle that
Denver
area.
is challenging.
Yeah, I don't think his heel ever hit down.
The runner did not step out 7 yards back.
So that is the challenge. Blackman exchanging pleasantries with his former teammate Terrence Knighton. We'll step aside. It's a coach's challenge. John Fox questioning whether or not Blackman was out of bounds before they finally ruled him out. Now, either way, it would have been good enough for a first down. So the question is, why is Fox questioning this at this juncture?
That's what I don't understand. I can see if he was short of the first down and then all of a sudden you thought he got it, but he was past the first down to begin with.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. Denver is charged his first timeout and his first challenge.
And, you know, based on the records of these two teams, maybe this is the only challenge that John Fox thought he could win today or might lose today.
He was able to work it like a tightrope and stay in bounds. It's a 23-yard gain. It would have been a 16-yard gain. Either way, they would have moved the chains for the first down. So Denver loses a timeout. They've got a 7-0 lead.
Interesting that Blackman's working out of the slot a lot.
On a handoff, Maurice Jones-Drew. Denver converging to the football, led by Danny Trevathan. It's a 2-yard gain for Jones-Drew on the play. Defensively for the Denver Broncos on that defensive line, we mentioned Terrence Knighton. He's played very well. He's played at a high level. Jack Del Rio coached him when he was in Jacksonville. Now the defensive coordinator, Paris Lennon, is in for Woodyard. And Champ Bailey. Playing under Jack Del Rio. Jaguars are 4-22 since they let Del Rio go as the head coach. It's Jones-Drew again, and falling forward into Denver territory as he picks up a yard. Del Rio, the head coach of the Jaguars for 9 years, 2003 to 2011, record of 69-73 with Jacksonville.
And I asked him about whether he had any feelings, special feelings about the battle today. He says, well, I had a lot of great years in Jacksonville. Very thankful for that opportunity, but he has moved on. And I would say that he's moved up.
Yeah. This crowd is loud. Play clock is down to 2. Shotgun for Henne on a 3rd and 7. He'll dial up the deep ball. Knocked away. Looking to hit Stephen Williams, formerly with Seattle and Arizona. But the Broncos get Rodgers-Cromartie in coverage.
I think if he throws that ball, Dan, more to the middle of the field, he might have a play. I mean, he throws it to it. See, the guy has to slow down. He gives DRC, Rodgers-Cromartie, an opportunity to come up and break the play up. Throw that ball to the middle of the field. Give your guy an opportunity to make a play for you.
I'm not sure if he saw a safety in the middle of the field or not, but you're absolutely right. Shan, you want to throw it away from the defense.
Anger punting to Holiday. And that's actually caught on special teams at the 5 by Demetrius McCray. 43-yard punt. And the Broncos back in their own territory at the 5 when we come back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Walmart. Get to Walmart and the October savings event going on right now. And by Ford. Only Ford gives you EcoBoost fuel economy and a whole lot more.
First and 10 for the Broncos. 8:52 to go in this opening quarter. A double tight end set to open up this possession with Thomas and Green. Ball to the Denver 5-yard line. Up the middle. And not much there for Moreno as he picks up 1.5 yards. On offense, Chris Clark in at left tackle, and Clark did outstanding work last week against DeMarcus Ware of Dallas. Backs and receivers, Moreno on pace for 1,000 yards for the first time in his career.
20.
Play fake. Manning throwing. And Moreno with the catch taking it right to the 15-yard line, 9 yards, and a first down.
Peyton Manning looking like he's shaken up just a bit because he's taking another hit here. Jason Babin comes in and hits the quarterback. Manning's looking for a flag because he was hit low.
Manning has taken 4 hits so far in the early going. Jason Babin, back-to-back Pro Bowls in 2010, 2011. Manning has only been sacked 5 times this season. Monte Ball is in there. And the rookie Ball hitting the hole hard. A good block from Chris Clark. 15-yard burst for Ball out of Wisconsin.
Let's check out number 73 here, 75, Chris Clark here. So he's working on Russell Allen. There's the kick-out block, a good block inside on Posluszny. And Ball with good speed down the sideline.
You know, John Fox talked about the fact that they don't look at records, they don't look at point spreads. He told the guys, you look at the tape. Every team in this league has players. You don't take anything for granted. Manning out of trouble, looking downfield. Manning throws. It's complete. Eric Decker. Manning keeping the play alive for 14 yards.
They're just lining up in base cover 2. They're not giving anything exotic. You can't let Peyton see your look with no diagnosis. Give him an opportunity. Change it up. They're just lining up there in straight cover 2, and they're getting no pressure.
Well, they got some immediate pressure, but not enough to contain Manning. I think Manning coming outside of the pocket really surprised the Jags.
Monte Ball stays in there. And he spun down at the 40-yard line. Andre Branch reading the play, the second-year defensive end out of Clemson. It's a loss of 3. Defensively, Jason Babin, one of those guys that they felt could be a difference maker on defense. Paul Posluszny, he's been solid, sideline to sideline, middle linebacker, and in the secondary. Very happy with the development early on of Jonathan Cyprian, the rookie at a Florida International, second-round pick, known as a thumper. Manning, it's should have been intercepted, and it's incomplete. Ball, the intended receiver, Russell Allen, had it on his chest. And it's 3rd and 14 for Denver.
Well, Monte Ball has not caught a pass this year. Maybe this is why. Bad hands there. The ball was off his hands right to either Posluszny had a shot at it and Allen. In fact, I think Posluszny knocked it away from Allen.
That's twice they've had opportunities, had their hands on the football, and came away with nothing.
They are 2 of 2 on third down conversions, including that 3rd and 20. This is a 3rd and 14. Denver with a 7-0 lead, under 6 minutes to go here in the first. Manning to the sideline, and Moreno is stood up. 4 yards, and some pushing and shoving after the play between Branch and Franklin.
Well, the Bronco offensive linemen don't like the way their quarterback is being treated here in the first quarter. Manning's been knocked around, and now a flag is thrown for personal foul.
So Manning hit for the 5th time. And right from the start, it was Branch and Franklin. Remember, this was going to be 4th down.
After the play is over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 90 of the defense. Low to the head. 15 yards, automatic first down.
You're 0-5. You stop the Denver Broncos on offense, force them to punt, something they don't do very often, and a personal foul is going to give Denver an automatic first down.
Now here's Branch right here. He's going to get some pretty good pressure, but the penalty obviously comes long after Manning is down. But I think when Cedric Marks came over the top here, some of the Bronco offensive linemen, and Beatles getting into it with Branch, and that face mask there, I'm sure, drew the penalty.
So a new set of downs for Denver to work with now in Jacksonville territory. Go to a little trickery, and it's Caldwell. Shake and bake move by Caldwell. And he's knocked down inside the 35. It's a gain of 7. Kansas City has defeated Oakland. So Denver now trying to keep pace with the undefeated Chiefs in the AFC West. Andy Reid 6-0 in his first season in KC.
That last unsportsmanlike conduct, that's a good way to make sure you don't win very many games during the season. You have them off the field and you give them a first down.
Gus Bradley talked about his players controlling what they can control. Branch could have controlled himself in that situation. Ball hit down low by Alan Ball, no relation. 4-yard pickup.
And Alan Ball is heading right to the sidelines with a sore shoulder. Monte Ball goes about 215, 220, and Ball felt the brunt of that size, and he exited quickly.
So Demetrius McCray, a rookie out of Appalachian State, will step in for Ball. They're down a corner. Dwayne Grox is out. Grox suffering from an ankle injury. Take the handoff. Manning has time. Soft toss over the middle to Moreno. And Moreno continues to be a weapon in the passing game, Shannon, in this first quarter.
Well, Gus Bradley said, will Peyton Manning continuously be patient and take the check down? We're going to stay in cover 2. We're not going to get exotic, but we don't feel he'll be patient enough to keep taking the check down. So far, he's been patient.
Moreno with 4 catches. Decker 1. Julius Thomas 1.
Manning is 6 out of 9, 63 yards and a touchdown. Quick hitter. It's Decker. Eric Decker battling his way to the 20-yard line for 5 yards. Russell Allen over there defensively.
Well, this is what Shannon's talking about. Cover 2, 2 deep safeties, and look at all the linebackers in the other corners. They're just going to drop here and wait for Peyton to throw something short over the middle to his running back or to the outside in this case. But this is the look that he'll get for probably 80% of the game. The other look is a cover 4 where all 4 defensive backs are about the same depth. But the testing of the patience, I don't think that'll be a problem for Peyton Manning.
I don't think so either. But on that third down, when Jacksonville were able to get off the field before they got that unsportsmanlike conduct, they went to a robber coverage. And what we mean by that, they showed 2 deep shell. The tight end came across on a deep crossing route. The safety came down to take him away. Peyton was unable to throw the ball immediately. That's where he had to eat the ball.
It is enough for a first down. And Manning has taken a pounding, although there haven't been any official sacks. He's felt it.
Well, that was a touchdown pass, but complaining there about the low hit. And this one resulted in a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Andre Branch. But yeah, at his age, he cannot take a whole bunch of these hits.
Manning is going against 2 young safeties, rookies, Cyprian and Josh Evans. Evans is a 6th-round draft pick. Dwight Lowery is done for the season with a concussion. 12th play of the drive. Pump and throw. Wes Welker. Touchdown. Denver. Perfect execution.
Touchdown number 8 now for Wes Welker. And he went right down the middle of that cover 2, Shannon. There he is right here with the combination route, but he's just so difficult to defend. So quick, so powerful in his legs, and his sure hands.
That is 800 career receptions for Wes Welker. They go 12 plays, 95 yards, 14-0. .244 to play in this opening quarter. It's Manning to Welker. Wes Welker now 800 career receptions. And Welker a touchdown every game he's played as a Denver Bronco. What an addition this man has been to this offense, Shannon.
I think last year he had something like 118 catches and 6 touchdowns.
Yep.
Now he has like 32 catches and 8 touchdowns. So he's picking right up where he left off with Tom Brady in New England.
And he was cut by the San Diego Chargers, I'm sad to say, back a long time ago. Brock Osweiler getting loose on the sidelines.
So Brock's got the baseball cap on, second year quarterback out of Arizona State. 6'8", 240 pounds as Prater kicks it through the back of the end zone. Now break down this too deep mentality.
You need help. You need both guys to get jams on the outside guys. The safety, he's standing on the inside edge of the numbers. He doesn't need to move to get wide. Just stay there. That mistake right there cost him.
Yep, false step there. And that's the rookie, Josh Evans. They will be educated today.
This is a Jacksonville team that is 0-5. They've lost all 5 games by double digits. On a give to Denard Robinson. Versatile rookie out of Michigan, getting an opportunity in the run game. Fantasy football fans, check out CBSSports.com Player Challenge, a new 4-week game with a cash prize in every league. See rules and sign up at CBSSports.com/challenge. 2-yard gain for Robinson. Harbor and Williams, double tight end set. Robinson will remain in there. Jacksonville searching for something. We told you about the shoulder injury to Cecil Shorts early in this one. Henny steps up. Henny throws. Incomplete. Harbor, the former Philadelphia Eagle, the intended receiver, and a penalty marker on the play. Denver pointing in the direction of Jacksonville.
Personal foul. Face mask. Number 65 of the offense. Half the distance to go. It's still second down.
It's Will Rackley, and the Jaguars are moving in the wrong direction.
It's good to see the NFL officials using yellow flags again. A lot of confusion last week with the pink flags and all the pink towels of the players.
Peyton Manning had left and now has made his way back onto the sidelines. That's why Osweiler was tossing the ball. Second and 19 now for Jacksonville. This is a team that's now been outscored 113-18 in first halves this season. Nowhere for Jones-Drew to go. Sylvester Williams, the rookie out of North Carolina. First man there for Denver.
Guys, there's not a lot of plays in the playbook for 2nd and 25. When you continually put yourself behind the 8-ball, Dan, bad things normally happen.
Well, how many plays are there for 3rd and 25? We're going to find out.
Even fewer.
Yes, sir. Now, you want to try to just get half of it back, and getting it with a running play is probably not going to happen.
Dime package here for Denver. 6 defensive backs. Justin Forsett now in there for Jacksonville on a 3rd and long. Henny pats the ball. He throws. It's complete. On a line, he hits Mike Brown, and a little bit short of the first down. We're talking about half a yard.
A beautiful throw by Henny, and the route by Brown was absolutely perfect. The corner route. Jags going to go quickly, try to pick up this first down on 4th down. Watch the quarterback sneak here.
And it will be Henny finding a hole, and he's got enough. Flag is down on the far side.
Yeah, the smart thing Henny saw was just a 3-man defensive line because the Broncos could not substitute out of that dime defense.
Offside defense, number 95. Lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. It results in a first down.
Well, they found a good play for 3rd and real long, Shannon. The corner route, just the 2nd catch of the year for Mike Brown, comes up about 6 inches short, and then the heads-up play by Henny, seeing the hole over his left guard, Will Rackley for the first.
They've got a number of guys that played QB in college that aren't playing QB for Jacksonville. Brown, one of them out of Liberty, Robinson, the other out of Michigan, as Jones-Drew is met by Nate Irving and a 1-yard pickup.
That's something that John Fox talked about yesterday, getting better on 3rd down, making sure on 3rd and 25, you let a team pick up 24 yards and then the QB sneak you for the 4th and 1. That's unacceptable on the Broncos' behalf. But great play call, great throw by the Jags and Chad Henne.
Look, Denver's given up a lot of passing yards, and that's a byproduct of the fact that they've had big leads in games. Last week gave up a lot of yards in a tight game against Tony Romo. Put up 506 through the air. Jones-Drew, great balance. Maurice Jones-Drew looking like the old MJD. 9-yard gain. That's the end of the first quarter. Denver with a 14-0 lead. We'll come back after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Iron Eagle Dan Fouts, Shannon Sharp joining us. The NFL Today road trip here in Denver. The Broncos leading 14-0 over Jacksonville as we start this second quarter. Jacksonville with the football at the 45, and Justin Blackmon getting to the second level and beyond. Working on Kayvon Webster. That's because Rogers Cromartie went out with an injury, and Chad Henne recognized, take advantage of the rookie. It's 18 yards.
And Webster goes right to the sidelines. Cromartie back in the game for the Broncos. Great route by Blackmon.
Zigzag. Jones-Drew had some yards in front of him, but got tripped up from behind. Running behind that right side with Austin Pastor.
Great tackle by Champ Bailey. Lost his helmet. It's going to come off the field. But if he doesn't make this tackle around the ankles of Maurice Jones-Drew, he's got a big gain, maybe even a touchdown.
So now Webster is back in. And the medical staff talking to Champ Bailey. Bailey, the 15-year veteran, in there for the first time this regular season. This is a 2nd and 6 now. Jacksonville putting together a drop. Henne out of the pocket. Throws low. Incomplete. Tauffo'o, the 2nd-year fullback from Cal, the intended receiver. Paris Lennon put the heat on Henne.
Well, Lennon coming from his middle linebacker spot right here is going to provide that pressure. Henne, I think, did a smart thing by just throwing this ball at the feet of Tauffo'o, not risking an interception.
This is the 9th play of the drive and a 3rd and 5 for Jacksonville. It's a pitch. 4-7. Kayvon Webster leading the charge for Denver, and no gain on the play for the Jaguars. Injured Bronco on the play. And now they will send out Josh Scobee as Kevin Vickerson was shaken up and he's limping off. We watch these guys in pregame warm-ups, Shannon and Dan, trying 60, 65, 67, 69-yard field goal attempts.
Yeah, Scobee hit the upright at 68 yards, so this should be well within his range. This is only 50 yards.
So really a gimme for Josh Scobee.
PAT.
Jacksonville has been outscored 64-3 in the second quarter this season. 50-yard attempt for Scobee trying to get on the board for Jacksonville. And Scobee drills it. It's 14-3, Denver. Kickers love the altitude here in Denver. Scobee puts Jacksonville on the board. Yes, the loneliest man in Denver. That's the holder. Britton Colquitt, also the punter, but he just doesn't do that very often for the Broncos. And Scobee kicks it out of the back of the end zone. It'll come out to the 20. Colquitt just trying to stay warm. Start your Monday night with a great new hour of comedy, How I Met Your Mother, Two Broke Girls at its new time, followed by a special Big Bang Theory. That's tomorrow beginning at 8, 7 Central, only CBS.
Yeah, there are so few kickoffs returned in this thin air here at Mile High. The Broncos defensively on that, basically looking for an onside kick the way they were lined up.
Jacksonville, try everything.
Oh, 20.
Denver has gone over 50 points in each of the last 2 games. No team scored 50 or more in 3 straight. And a drop. Knowshon Moreno, the intended receiver. We are tracking the numbers for Peyton Manning. He now has 22 touchdowns on the season. That is the most in NFL history through 6 games. Tom Brady 21, Brett Favre 20. Culpepper had the big numbers in 2004. And Sammy Baugh, going back to the 40s, had 19. And Moreno, nowhere to go. Posluszny pushing it defensively. And a half a yard on the gain. Well, this could be his moment.
You got to be ready. I wouldn't count on it, though, the way the Broncos convert third downs.
Last couple of weeks, he's picked up a free paycheck.
Yeah, it's been 7 quarters since Colquitt has last punted. Coming into this game, 3rd and 9. So a 4-receiver set here for Denver. 12:35 to play in the first half. Manning, shotgun, deep ball, could not drop it in the bucket to Julius Thomas. And Denver will actually punt.
A lot of contact down the field. Jonathan Cyprian, man-to-man coverage. Good dive for that ball to knock it away, but you wonder about the frustration of some of the wide receivers, Shannon. No catches so far for Damaris.
You're right. That was Julius Thomas on that one. This is one of the few times we've seen the Jags come out of that shell cover 2 coverage. They were man coverage, single high safety. Great defensive stand by the Jags.
Colquitt just his 16th punt of the season. That one will bounce right up in the air and then take a Denver roll. Settle in at the Jacksonville 35. That's where the Jaguars will have it after the Broncos go 3 and out. Britton Colquitt breaks a sweat.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Pepsi. Live for now.
Just a beautiful part of the country. Red Rocks earlier today. This is the scene just outside the stadium. Shannon Sharpe, the Broncos Ring of Fame. That's the Plaza area. And then Bronco fans got a little added bonus as Shannon made his way back up here to the broadcast booth. That was the first time you saw that downstairs, right?
Very first time I saw it. It's unbelievable. Anytime you can have a monument outside of the NFL stadium,
yeah,
you did pretty good.
And who were you next to? Who are you set up?
I'm sandwiched in between Rod Smith and Terrell Davis.
That's not bad. That's a little bit of offense right there. Penny has time. Gets it to Blackman, who will duck out of bounds. At the 40-yard line, that's a 5-yard pickup. Champ Bailey is back in there for the Denver defense. So here we are at the 12-minute mark. And we know what all the hype was coming into this week. Denver Broncos heavily favored against Jacksonville. 14-3 lead. They've hit the quarterback quite a bit. Peyton Manning has gone down 5 times. He hasn't been sacked, but hard hits as he's released the football. Jones-Drew turning it upfield for 4. It'll be 3rd and short. Good block from Taufo'o. Well, the tale of 2 teams coming into this one. Denver, first place in all the major offensive categories. Jacksonville, last place. Jacksonville trying to push the tempo a bit. Jaguars are 1 of 5 on 3rd down. This is a 3rd and 1 for Jacksonville. Not going to get it. Jones-Drew is stamped in the backfield by the Denver defensive line and linebackers.
Well, Henny wanted to go with the quarterback sneak at first, saw the Broncos jamming in the middle, so he changed it. But this play just took too long to develop. Good penetration by that defensive line.
You think this might be a fake punt, Dan?
I think they've already shot that.
Brian Anger back on. His first punt went 43 yards. They faked one on the first possession of the day. Trendon Holiday waiting for it at the 10. This punt will sail to the 9, and Holiday actually had more time than he thought. Fair catch called for. Denver will have it at the 9-yard line after the 46-yard punt. Peyton Manning, 2 touchdowns to bring his total to 22 on the season. Denver with a 14-3 lead. Some headlines. Week 6, Kansas City 6-0 with the win over Oakland. Nick Foles, big numbers for Philadelphia, stepping in for Michael Vick. They defeat Tampa Bay. Pittsburgh, its first win of the season, 19-6 over the Jets. And Cincinnati outlasts Buffalo in overtime. Andy Dalton, 337 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick for the Bengals. First down for the Denver Broncos. Ball at the Broncos' 9-yard line with Knowshon Moreno just to the side of Manning out of the gun. They'll hand it off. And Moreno is brought down as he crossed the 10. Paul Posluszny with a stop. Hey, NFL fans, share your story about why you love NFL football. Go to NFL.com/together. We make football for official rules and a chance to win a trip to the Super Bowl. Manning slings and gets Julius Thomas involved with a penalty marker thrown. 5-yard pickup through the air for Denver. Julius Thomas leads the AFC in yards after the catch this season.
Pass interference, offense, number 88.
Yeah, I think on that slant route he pushed off to get separation from the defensive back. Part of that frustration, perhaps, first time that Julius Thomas has been targeted today.
You know, the thing is, I used to tell Terrell Davis, in cover 2, run them out of cover 2. Make them drop that safety down to take away the run. And now Rod and myself can get some one-on-one looks. But you have to run a team out of cover 2.
2nd and 14 after the penalty. Manning making changes here. It's Wes Welker. And Welker is stacked up. 3 white jerseys getting to him quickly, led by Mike Harris, the corner. It's a 4-yard gain.
And talking to Bob Babbitt, their defensive coordinator, this is the game plan defensively we've been talking about. Get the receivers down, let them make the catch, but get them down, try to force a turnover. And so far, Shannon, I think this cover 2 is working nicely for the Jags.
Slow them down.
3rd and 10 now for Denver. Manning, protection holds up. Manning floats it. He's got Welker down the field, and a first down for the Broncos. 26 yards on the pass and catch.
The first time that they've gone deep down the field for a completion. Manning, the key, though, is all this time to throw. He can loft it right over the linebacker's head, and he knows Welker's going to be there. 26 yards on the game.
On first down, set up a pick. And it's Thomas unable to get out of that first wave of defenders. 5-yard pickup. Yeah, we talked to Peyton Manning about all the big numbers that Denver's been putting up, and he said, look, I had a sense that we had to be special on offense with no Champ Bailey, no Von Miller, still suspended. He'll come back next week against Indianapolis. He really felt it was on the offense to step things up.
And now he fumbles from the exchange with the center.
And Jacksonville's got it. Denver makes a mistake on offense, and the Jaguars capitalize.
Surprisingly, that's their 11th fumble this season, the 7th one they've lost. And how surprising that number 18 and his longtime center, Manny Ramirez, can't get together on this snap. Ball looked like it came up a little bit short to Manning.
If you're the Jags, that's what you need. Stay in the ball game early.
It is Derek Marks on the recovery. Yeah, that was Dan Copeland's spot for many, many years. And Manny Ramirez has been a part of this team. But this has been an issue for Denver if you're going to find a fault in what's happened this season.
Well, there's so much shotgun now that the exchange from under center is almost gone the way of the dinosaur. And so I'm not sure they practice it as much.
Looked like Wes Welker limped off after that play as well. 8:03, they're taking a look at it. All turnovers reviewed, and they've been given clearance, and Jacksonville has it. Jacksonville came in at -7 in the turnover differential. Pump fake. Henny will throw. Rifles to Brown, who's got the catch, and he's got the first down. Just shy of the 25. It's 14 yards, working the perimeter.
And a really good adjustment on this ball. Henny saw the zone coverage there, and Brown goes up before the safety can get over there.
Back to the ground game. Maurice Jones-Drew with a head of steam. 3-yard gain. Vickerson with a stop for Denver.
Seems like Maurice Jones-Drew is so close to busting a big one, doesn't it?
But he just doesn't seem like he has that explosiveness that he once had. The injuries and the carries over the years are starting to take its toll.
Yeah, we asked him, are you 100%? He said, no, but I've never really been 100%. Justin Blackman on the outside, and he's got a first down. 9-yard pickup. Wes Welker mentioned on the prior play that something seemed awry for Welker.
Well, you know, he made that long catch. He kind of went down to the ground, then got up and dove out of bounds like he couldn't get up and run.
Henny throwing underneath. Mike Brown, good work by Brown. 11 yards on the catch and run for Brown. Much more opportunities because of the injury to Cecil Shorts early, the shoulder sprain. So it's first and goal for Jacksonville. Inside the 5. Trying to cut into this Denver lead. Henny sets, throws, wobbly ball. It was tipped. Trying to get it to Blackman. Roy Miller.
Yeah, ball tipped, knocked away, and almost intercepted by Champ Bailey.
So Malik Jackson getting a piece of it. Second and goal now. Play clock winding down.
Good luck.
Flag is thrown.
Yep, too late.
Maurice Jones-Drew kept on running.
Prior to the snap, delay of game, offense, number 7. 5-yard penalty. It's still second down.
Well, and you can really give this crowd a big assist on that one because the communication there by Henny to his teammates just took too long. What a killer penalty. You're inside the 5. On second down and goal, now you're back to the 9.
Change in personnel. Tauffo'o will come on for Jacksonville. Henny will operate out of the gun. Tauffo'o, the motion man. Jones-Drew, nothing there. Rogers Cromartie read it. And it's third and goal now for the Jaguars. Loss of 2 on the play.
Shan, you talked about the lack of a burst. You know, he's been battling a sprained ankle this year. That's the same foot that he had the Liz Frank injury last year. And just not enough speed or burst to get to the outside. Loses a couple.
Yeah, the Broncos are really undersized defense with the exception of the 2 big D tackles. I don't know if trying to attack them wide is the right play.
Too much speed, huh?
Yep.
Third and goal now for Jacksonville. Trailing 14-3. Henny. Knocked down. Chad Henny could not get it off cleanly. Vickerson with the pressure. It's fourth down.
Vickerson goes 6'5", and Henny had a wide open receiver down the middle of the field. Great play by Vickerson.
So a 30-yard attempt here for Josh Scobee. Knocked one through from 50 yards away earlier. .30-yarder as the rush was coming is good for Scobee. 14-6. Denver in front of Jacksonville.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Samsung Smart TV. TV has never been better. And by State Farm. It pays to double check. Talk to your agent today.
Well, how big was the pass deflection by Kevin Vickerson? Watch Mike Brown. He's going to go to the post on a great move here, right over the middle. That's just where Henne is going to go with the ball. 6'5", Kevin Vickerson with a touchdown-saving block.
But Jacksonville has made this a one-score game here in the second quarter. 5:43 to go. Obviously, the speculation coming into this week, how many points would Denver score? How could Jacksonville hang with the Broncos? Scobee kicking it off to Trindon Holiday, and that is over his head out to the 20-yard line. Well, we've looked it up. The 5-0 against the 0-5s. The last time the 0-5 team won it, 1979. Phil Simms made his first start as an NFL quarterback. Billy Taylor ran for 2 touchdowns, the BT Express. And the Giants got the win 17-14. Since that point, 1992, the last time we've had this situation, and Miami handled New England. Tampa Bay was 0-5 in 83 and 85, lost to Dallas and lost to the Rams. On first down, a pitch, Moreno. Ridden down by Posluszny, 4-yard gain for Knowshon Moreno. Now in his 5th year in the NFL, number 12 pick overall back in 2009.
This is my first time seeing Paul Posluszny play up close. He's the real deal.
Manning throwing underneath. It's a low throw. Welker is back in there, and it's ruled incomplete. And it was Posluszny in the area once again.
He made a number of plays last week against the Rams on a similar type of routes, guarding backs out of the backfield and the tight end. That time, all over Welker, forced that incompletion.
Yeah, we asked Posluszny how difficult this has been. He said, look, it hasn't been easy, but Coach Bradley is so positive. He's so energetic. He's so charismatic. His approach helps a lot in maintaining the right frame of mind. 3rd and 6. Oh, big stick as Moreno took a shot from Blackman. And it's short of a first down.
It is rare to see Peyton Manning misread a coverage. He misread this coverage. And look who pays for it. Knowshon Moreno. Blackman with the big hit there, but Manning cannot throw that flat route to his running back against that coverage.
Starting to see a little frustration on the Broncos offense, Dan. They're not used to going 3 and out. That's 2 back-to-back.
So it'll be Britton Colquitt once again. Ace Sanders, the return man. We'll get an opportunity here. Little juke move as he takes it to the 30-yard line. And again, the pushing and shoving continues between these two teams. We've seen it throughout this first half. 14-6. Broncos leading the Jaguars. Four and a half to go in the second quarter. Broncos in front of the Jaguars. Coming up, Verizon halftime report. JB, Dan Marino, special guest Bart Scott. All the latest NFL scores and highlights. It's coming up on the Verizon halftime report. Well, Shannon, you talked about Denver and being unaccustomed to having these quick possessions. Touchdown, then a punt, a fumble, and a punt for the Broncos. Jacksonville takes over down by 8. Henne trying to finesse this one in the direction of Stephen Williams. Too high. Incomplete.
Pretty good contrast between the passing attacks here today for both teams. The Jags, Henne, all 9 of his completions have been to his wide receivers. Manning is 12 of 18, and just 6 of his passes have gone to his wide receivers.
Chad Henne 1 and 8 as a starter with Jacksonville. Second down, Henne finds the soft spot. And it's Justin Blackman with the grab in the first down. 14 yards. Blackman has got a knack of getting himself open.
And getting down after the ball is caught. This is a real veteran move there to go down before Cromartie can come over there. Rogers Cromartie with a big hit.
4-game suspension for Blackman, violating the league's substance abuse policy. Maurice Jones-Drew, not much of a running lane there for him. Inches closer to midfield for a 2-yard pickup.
I think Blackman might have found a home in the slot, Dan. I think he's more effective as a slot receiver as opposed to being lining up outside the number. I don't think he possessed that downfield deep threat speed that puts fear in the minds of the corners.
Yeah, I like his size, too, at 6'1", 210. He can bounce off linebackers and run away from safeties.
Blackman told us it was great to be back out there with his teammates last week, contributing, and it was hard being away. The sense that you get is hopefully he took something away from that experience. At the fake, Jones-Drew, and stacked up at midfield.
Now we're seeing some huddling, some no huddling out of the Jaguars. They want to control the tempo with their offense. Talking to their offensive coordinator, Jed Fish, he said, you got to be aware, though, that you are playing at altitude here. None of these players are quite familiar with it, so at times they will have to back off the up-tempo, no-huddle offense.
Time of possession right now in favor of Jacksonville. Jaguars are 1 of 7 on 3rd down here today. Down to 2:34 to play in the first half. And
Denver called time.
Whistle dead.
Denver called timeout from the sidelines.
Timeout. Denver. Their second.
Broncos will have 1 timeout remaining with 2:32 left in this second quarter. Well, guys, before the game today, the Broncos honored Colorado Rockies great Todd Helton. Helton retiring after spending all 17 of his big league seasons here in Denver. Helton, an honorary captain, and was joined by his ex-college teammate at Tennessee, Peyton Manning. As the story goes, Helton was earmarked as the starting quarterback at Tennessee. He was a year in front of Manning, and then Manning.
Really?
Yeah, Manning got to town.
Who was the coach?
I don't know.
Manning was a good first baseman, too, I'm sure, but
Yeah.
come on.
He got to Knoxville, and it was all over. And Helton became a baseball player full-time. 3rd and 5. Henny on time. It's Forsett. Oh, he lost the ball at the end of the play and knocked out of bounds. Forsett, the former Seahawk, Colt, and Texan. That's 14 yards as he made Trevathan miss initially.
A really good throw by Henny, too, leading the back to the sideline away from the coverage. But boy, you could not have this ball. Great job of ripping it out there for the Broncos by Duke Iheanacho.
Who's that?
Duke.
Iheanacho.
Right.
On 1st down. Justin Blackman. And Blackman able to fall forward across the 30. Chris Harris with the hit. 7-yard game. We've hit the 2-minute warning. Jacksonville trails Denver 14-6. Gus Bradley looking for his first win as a head coach in the NFL. Peyton Manning and the Broncos have a 14-6 lead, but Jacksonville is driving with 1:57 to go. First half. Maurice Jones-Drew picks up 2 yards on the play. Clock continues to roll. We're down to 1:45 left.
With the exception of that failed fake punt, the first half could not go any better for the Jags.
This is a 3rd and 2 now for Jacksonville. Elected not to stop the clock. They don't want Denver to get the football back with a lot of time to work with. Can they convert the 3rd down? Henny, they cannot. Too high for Blackman.
Yeah, really. Do you want to challenge Champ Bailey in that situation? I'm not so sure that that was a good choice for Henny to go towards number 24. Future Hall of Famer doesn't go for that fake at all, and then has position on Blackman down the field.
So this is a 46-yard field goal attempt for Scobee. Carson Tinker will snap it. Brian Anger, the punter, will hold it. Scobee 7 of 7 on the year, and they're not even going to get the kickoff. Shannon, you want to take back that statement?
Well, I guess something did go wrong besides the fake punt.
Yeah, Carson Tinker, the snapper, back to Anger. Ball is low. Anger cannot make the catch, and another symptom of a winless team right here on special teams. Snap not all that bad.
You know, guys, a lot of things have to go bad for you to be an over team, Dan. And this is you're seeing it right now in the first half with the Jags.
And it's a short field now for Peyton Manning and the Broncos to put points up with 1:14 to go. On the out, Julius Thomas did not get out of bounds, though. 4-yard gain. We're going to hit the 1-minute mark as Denver has one timeout left. Geno Hayes helped make sure he didn't get to the sideline.
Lack of football knowledge there, huh, Shannon?
That's exactly right.
Only 1 year of college football for Thomas at Portland State. Manning in the pocket. It's dropped. Eric Decker, the intended receiver, matched up with the linebacker.
You know, we talked about the long field goal attempts and in tryouts in practice this morning for the game. None of them were taken in this direction, though. But Prater does have a huge leg, and he's ready for a long one.
On third down, Manning throws. It's intercepted. Paul Posluszny. Posluszny down the sideline. And Posluszny breaking loose for the touchdown. 59 yards. Manning picked off by the linebacker.
This is his second pick of the year, his 11th of his career, and his first pick 6. What a catch by Posluszny. Watch him go high to make that grab, and watch him go right down the sidelines. Question is, did he go out of bounds? And the answer is no.
Paul Posluszny takes it all the way for Jacksonville.
The longer this game stays close, the better it bodes for the Jags.
What were the odds on the Jags leading at halftime? I just wanted to know that. I wish I had that bet.
And it looks like Jacksonville is going to go for 2 here. You go to the book, which all the coaches have at this stage, and most would say, isn't it too early? Only 36 seconds left in this first half, but Jacksonville trying to create a little momentum here. Penny throws, and he gives it to the other team, Bailey. So the 2-point conversion try is denied. Jaguars with only their second first-half touchdown of the season. It comes on the defensive end. Paul Posluszny.
Well, here, watch Champ Bailey, number 24, just playing a zone here. Reads the quarterback's eyes. He's done that a number of times, 52 in his career, although not sure that one will count when it's on an extra point. It doesn't. How about Posluszny right in the middle here? Watch him drop deep, Shannon.
That was a bad read because the guy, Wes Welker, was double covered. So if he doesn't get it, look at this.
I think we're seeing a frustrated Peyton Manning.
I totally agree. And that's what Gus Bradley talked about yesterday. Will he be patient enough to continuously take the checkdowns?
You're absolutely right. There was even 3 defensive backs. They had the trail corner and a safety deep and a real deep Posluszny. Posluszny only goes about 6'2". He played it like he was 7'2".
Scobee kicks it off to Trindon Holiday. Denver will have it at the 20-yard line. 36 seconds to work with here in the late stages of the second quarter. Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report. JB, Dan Marino, special guest Bart Scott. The latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. Well, we sat down with Posluszny, asked him, how do you stop Peyton Manning? He said, you don't. You can't flat out stop him, but we have to control the game and make him go the long, hard way to earn the points. And that's what Jacksonville has done here.
And they've made a lot of contact on Peyton Manning. Early in that first quarter, they hit him almost every time he went back to pass.
36 seconds remaining in this first half. Manning will throw. And it's handled there by Julius Thomas. But it's incomplete.
Geno Smith with the good coverage there. He is a playmaker for the Jaguars. You just need him to be a little bit more consistent, according to Bob Babich.
And Gino Hayes has made a number of plays here in this first half for Jacksonville. Wes Welker can't create after the catch. That's a 1-yard gain. And these fans are dumbfounded right now.
What would this game would have been, Dan, if they didn't go for the fake punt on their own 26-yard line?
That's it for this first half. Manning and the Broncos offense will head to the locker room. Paul Posluszny with the play of the half. An interception return for a touchdown off a pass from the future Hall of Famer Peyton Manning. End of the first half, 14-12. Denver in front of Jacksonville. Verizon halftime report is coming up. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Storylines in the first half here in Denver. Jacksonville punishing Peyton Manning. He's been hurried 5 times, knocked down 5 times, no sacks, but they frustrated him. And on the other end, Jacksonville flirting now with the idea of an immense upset. Paul Posluszny with the interception return for a touchdown. 14-12, Denver in front at the break. Diet Pepsi encourages fans to bid on Pink Gear to benefit the NFL's Crucial Catch campaign. Show you're fan enough by visiting NFL.com/auction to bid for Pink. Welcome back. We get you ready for second half action. Ian Eagle along with Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp, Dan Fouts. We open this broadcast talking about Jacksonville, the underdogs, biggest underdog in NFL history. How have the Jaguars been able to hang in this game?
Well, we were talking to Gus Bradley yesterday. He said we want to do 2 things. We want to make Peyton Manning be very patient, and when his receivers catch the football, we want to tackle him. They've done a great job. No great yardage after the catch.
Yep.
And they've not given Peyton Manning those shot plays, those big plays, pass plays, 40, 50 yards, the big long touchdowns. They're making the Broncos nickel and dime their way down the football field, and this Jags defense has done a great job.
What struck you, Dan, in that first half? Denver on offense in particular.
Well, they're not rushing the ball at all. And I think the fact that they're being able to hit Manning as often as possible. Remember, he had to go to the locker room for some type of treatment. But how about these stats here in the first half? The total yardage, all in favor of the Jags. The big point I always like to point to is points off turnover. And how about time of possession? And yet the Broncos still lead it 14-12.
Remember, this is the #1 offense in the NFL. Denver going against the last ranked offense in the NFL, Jacksonville. Denver did defer to the second half, so Josh Scobee kicks it off. And it doesn't look like we're going to see any kick returns here this afternoon. So Denver scored touchdowns on each of its first 2 possessions. Since that point, punt, fumble, punt, interception, and then we hit the halftime break as Denver just let the clock roll out.
Of course, that short 27-yard drive was after the Jaguars decided to go for the fake punt on their first possession. They were stopped on 4th down, and that gave Manning a very short field to work with.
The Broncos won their first 4 games of the season by an average of 22.3 points per game. Then last week got into a dogfight against Dallas and eked out the win 51-48. Play action to start the second half. Manning to the sideline. Eric Decker, it's a clean catch and out of bounds at the 43.
Well, able to beat the double coverage there on the zone. Cyprian coming over just a little bit late. Great concentration and strength in the left hand by Decker to hang on to that ball.
Yeah. So they'll move the chains here for Denver on first down. Try to establish the run. Moreno into Jacksonville territory. Blocked from Chris Clark and Julius Thomas. Springs Moreno loose for 11.
I believe this is the best way to get them out of that soft shell cover 2 is run the football, make them drop that safety down. Then that presents the opportunity to get those shot plays we talked about earlier, Dan.
That 11-yard is the longest run for the Broncos today.
Fake the handoff. Manning steps up. Manning dials it deep. Incomplete. Welker in the area along with Demaryius Thomas.
Wow, is that flag late?
So the penalty marker comes down. And we'll hear from Jeff Triplett after he gets
Yeah,
the word.
That was a pass interference. He's holding.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 26.
You know what we're rarely
Placed
seeing,
on the
though,
foul.
is uncatchable balls. This one was uncatchable for 3 guys, but there was clearly Evans with the grab. Left hand.
Josh Evans, a 2-year starter at Florida, now starting in the NFL. Ronnie Hillman fumbles the football. Hillman looked like he was shot out of a cannon. Cyprian was over there defensively, and now they'll have to peel off the pile.
Yeah, this is a wrestling match between Will Blackman and Eric Decker. They both dove on that ball at the exact same time, and Decker with the strength to make the recovery.
This is why Hillman doesn't get as much playing time as he should. He cannot hold on to the football.
So Blackman was the one who jarred it loose. The second man through with Cyprian. Blackman got a hold of it there, and then Cyprian jarred his body. First running play of the day for Hillman, and it may be his last. 2nd and 1. Moreno is back in there. 14-12. Denver in front. First possession, second half. Manning on the toss for Welker. And Wes Welker is hit just short of the 5. It's 1st and goal for the Broncos.
Yeah, this has been a real crisp opening drive for Peyton Manning and the Broncos. Very decisive, not having to look around.
Peyton Manning said, let's not forget, we're the Broncos, you're the Jags. Let's play our parts in this movie.
1st and goal for Denver. Fake it. Manning will toss it out of the back of the end zone.
Good decision by Manning, as there was 3 defenders around Maurice Thomas in the back of the end zone.
So now 2nd and goal for the Broncos. It's a team that averages 46 points per game. #1 in the NFL. Held to 14 in the first half.
55, Mike. 55. Hurry.
2nd down. Moreno. A blast from Moreno, but send Derek Marks among those to hold him back from getting to the goal line. And Moreno was upset, as was Clark. A flag was thrown. Four penalties against Jacksonville, 3 against Denver.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 26 of the defense. Taunting. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic 1st down.
Well, Gus Bradley said our young safeties are fired up. They're very competitive, Evans and Cyprian. And Evans, at the end of the play, kind of standing over Knowshon Moreno. So it's 1st and goal for Denver now.
20.
Manning. Fade. Julius Thomas. Oh, what a grab. Great hands for the touchdown.
Well, this is a touchdown, so it will be reviewed, as all scoring plays are. It appeared that Julius Thomas bobbled this ball just a bit. His right foot lands out of bounds. When did he gain control, do you think, Shannon?
It's going to be close. No. He got it. He has it now. It's out of bounds. Yeah, I think that's coming back, Dan. I think it's coming back. He has it now. 1. It's out of bounds.
Yeah, that right foot is out of the back of the end zone. There's the bobble, and the 1 foot comes down out of bounds. No catch, no touchdown.
So on booth review, they will take a look at it to make it official. Right now, the touchdown is on the board.
Jeff Triplett still under the hood checking out these different angles, but the bobble there makes the catch a restart. Once it's a restart, he gains possession, but clearly left foot down there, but watch the right foot. That's out of bounds. But how big is that penalty now? on Josh Evans. Would have brought up a 3rd down. Instead, gave the Broncos an automatic 1st down. So this will be 2nd down and goal from about the 1.
And Jeff Triplett still taking a look at it. He has seen all the angles that we have shown. Normally when it takes this long, usually means that they're trying to figure out where the clock's at,
right,
where the ball will be, all of those things, although in this particular case it's just an incomplete pass.
Normally when they take that long, they're under the hood ordering takeout for after the ball game. So.
What did you order?
After review, the ruling on the field is reversed. The receiver is bobbling the ball when he gets possession. 1 foot's down, the 2nd foot comes out of bounds. It is an incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd down and goal.
One more look. There's the bobble. That's what cost him. He couldn't get the right foot down. The push by Przinski may have prevented him from getting that right foot down, and that's what Przinski's hoping for, and that's what he got.
So 2nd and goal now for Denver. They bring in Mitch Unrein at the fullback spot. On 2nd and goal. Moreno in the backfield. Manning broken up, and a flag is thrown. Thomas in a matchup with Cyprien.
Pass interference. Defense, number 37. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic 1st down.
Yeah, the rookie, Jonathan Cyprien. Julius Thomas again on the slant route. 6'5", 250 pounds. Couldn't move there to get inside. There's the grab. Flag will be coming shortly.
So it's 1st and goal for Denver. Right up the middle, Knowshon Moreno. Touchdown, Broncos.
Shannon, I was hoping that Peyton would run that bootleg again, like he did last week against the Cowboys.
Once every 5 years, we see the bootleg.
Injured Bronco on the play. It's Orlando Franklin. 3rd-year right tackle. 6'7", 320 pounds, a massive human being. So Franklin got hit down low as Moreno accelerated. We'll step aside.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. McDonald's, I'm loving it. And by Acura. Meet the extremely new 2014 MDX at acura.com/MDX.
Orlando Franklin helped off the field after that 1-yard touchdown run by Knowshon Moreno. Denver had 5 plays in a goal-to-go situation and finally punched it in. They're not very deep on that offensive line. Winston Justice is inactive. John Moffitt inactive. They do have Chris Cooper and Steve Vallos in reserve. Matt Prater will connect on the extra point. And it's 21-12, Denver, 12-16 mark of the 3rd.
And checking out the left leg of Orlando Franklin. I'm surprised this doesn't happen more often, but you can see his ankle getting rolled up there by Tyson Alu.
Every game this season, Denver has scored first possession of the second half. That's now 5 touchdowns and 1 field goal for the Broncos after the Moreno touchdown. First possession, 3rd quarter. Denver in front, 21-12. Matt Prater kicking it off to Jordan Todman. And a touchback. Coming up tonight on 60 Minutes, a 15-year-old boy who may have come up with a cancer breakthrough. Plus, one of the great untold human rescue stories of the 20th century. On 60 Minutes, that's tonight, only CBS. So Jacksonville able to get that touchdown from Posluszny at the end of the second quarter. The interception return cutting into the Denver lead, but now down 21-12. Henne throws in stride. Justin Blackmon down to the 40-yard line. That's a 20-yard pass play. Henne to Blackmon.
The explosiveness off the line of scrimmage by Blackmon. Watch as he gets up inside. Barely a move there. Rogers Cromartie playing him outside shade. Good read by Henne. 8 catches now for Blackmon for 102 yards.
That is on the heels of his 136-yard performance last week in his first game back. On first down, Henne sideline. Blackmon had it bounce off of him, and he gets tied up with Champ Bailey as the ball popped up in the air and out of bounds. Incomplete.
That's a back shoulder type of pass by Henne, but look at the coverage by Champ Bailey. Gets his left hand in there to knock the ball up in the air. Then nobody knows where it is, but they certainly know where each other are.
Well, if I don't have it, you're not going to have it.
Well, Justin Blackmon was really looking forward to matching up with one of the best ever. Champ Bailey, 12-time Pro Bowler. On a give. Maurice Jones-Drew. Terrific cut, and it forces Denver to make a play in the secondary. Raheem Moore. It'll go down as a 28-yard run for Jones-Drew.
Watch the block by Will Tafo'o as he's going to take out Trevathan there. And finally, Maurice Jones-Drew gets to the second level.
It's the longest running play of the season for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're down a playmaker, Cecil Shorts, out with a shoulder injury. .55 yards on the ground for Maurice Jones-Drew. Now it's Todman up the middle and not much there. Got back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Jaguars. Malik Jackson in on the stop for Denver.
So far, great answer by this Jags offense. The Broncos get the ball out of the half, go down the field, score a touchdown. The Jags get the ball. They're marching right back down the field.
That 28-yard run by Maurice Jones-Drew is his longest of the season. And just what this Jag team needs, something on the ground.
This is a Jacksonville team that's going through a franchise worst 10-game losing streak going back to last season. They're 1-17 in their last 18 games. Henne, a cannon to Blackmon. Ball came out. Blackmon thought he was already down. He's telling Iheanacho that that's not going to stand.
First down.
12 yards on the pass play.
Champ Bailey with the coverage there as this ball, his knee is down before it comes out. Good call by the officials. That left knee was out, down on the ground.
Jones-Drew back in there. New set of downs for Jacksonville. And Maurice Jones-Drew plunging for a yard. Sean Phillips got him down low. Last win for the Jaguars have to go back November the 25th last year. Chad Henne, couple of touchdowns. Jaguars intercepted Jake Locker a couple of times, and they got the win 24-19 over the Titans. We hit the 9-minute mark in this third quarter. 21-12, Denver in front of Jacksonville. Spread the field with Henne out of the gun. Henne guns it. Intercepted off the deflection. Mike Brown had glanced off him, and Raheem Moore had an opportunity.
If I'm the Broncos, Justin Blackmon's not catching any more slants on me, Dan. I'm not letting him inside.
Well, this is Mike Brown this time. And remember, he's taking the place of Cecil Shorts, who was hurt in the first quarter. That ball should have been caught by Brown, and it should have been caught by Moore.
And a Denver player is banged up on the play. And it's Sean Phillips, a little bit slow to get up. They're already down Robert Ayers. Ayers sitting this one out with a shoulder injury. No Wesley Woodyard today. Woodyard out with a neck injury. Paris Lenning starting for Woodyard. Phillips in for Ayers. They get Von Miller back next week.
And they will need him next week against Andrew Luck and the Colts in Indy.
8th play of the drive. 3rd and 9 now for Jacksonville. Penny fires. Open man, it's Blackman. Spun down at the 5. Justin Blackman is putting up big numbers here.
I'm very impressed with Justin Blackman. He relished the opportunity to go against Champ Bailey, one of the better cornerbacks, an all-pro, many-time Pro Bowler. But I'm impressed with him. I am very impressed. 10 catches, $129. You have to be impressed not only with Justin Blackman, but with this Jags offense.
And if Blackman doesn't lose his footing, he might have spun away from Bailey to get in the end zone.
Last week it was Des Bryant, Blackman's former college teammate, who did a number on the Denver defense. 1st and goal for Jacksonville. Maurice Jones-Drew fights his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Jaguars aren't going away here in the second half.
Yeah, just a great job on that offensive line. Remember, Austin Pazor is taking the spot there. Watch Pastor here, the right tackle. The job that he'll do coming off and taking care of Sylvester Williams. Good vision by Maurice Jones-Drew. 9 plays, 80 yards. That's your answer, Shannon Sharp.
That's a great answer. I'm wondering what Nacho is doing. He sees the play coming right at him, and he just freezes.
Josh Scobee on for the extra point. Jacksonville playing with this makeshift offensive line. Cameron Bradfield replacing the injured Luke Jokel, out for the season. Austin Pastor in at right tackle, as Dan mentioned. He was on the Jacksonville practice squad last year. It's Maurice Jones-Drew, and the Jaguars climbing back into it in Denver.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by FedEx. Request when and where your packages are delivered with FedEx Delivery Manager. And by oneandone.com. Pre-reserve now from over 700 new domains with oneandone.com.
A little bit of history between these two teams, Denver and Jacksonville. 1996 AFC Divisional Playoffs. Shannon Sharp, 18-yard touchdown from John Elway. Broncos take a 12-0 lead. Then Mark Brunell rallies the Jaguars. 2 touchdown passes. Keenan McCardell, Jimmy Smith. Jacksonville pulls off the upset, 30-27. And after the game, Shannon said, "I'm just going to go home, sit on my couch, and probably cry." I believe that was the exact quote.
Still one of the most painful moments in my life. Lose to a second-year expansion team when we thought we had all the pieces to go all the way. It really, really, really hurt.
On the kickoff, Scobee out of the end zone, and Denver will have it at the 20-yard line. Well, we know what all the talk was prior to this game. The fact that Denver was an overwhelming favorite. Jacksonville, an 0-5 team, a team that couldn't put up points, couldn't stop anybody. And here we are, guys, at the 7:43 mark of the third. We've got a ball game. It's a 2-point lead for Denver. Luis Vasquez will shift over to right tackle. Chris Cooper goes in at right guard. Knowshon Moreno is brought down after the gain of 1. Knee injury for Orlando Franklin, and his return is questionable.
And if you go back to that opening drive of the second half for the Broncos, it was an 8-play 80-yarder, but there were 3 penalties, major penalties against the Jaguars. 2 pass interference and 1 unsportsmanlike conduct.
2nd and 9 for Denver. Play action. Manning. He's got Thomas. Demaryius Thomas. So dangerous after the catch. Spun down at the 37. Chased by Will Blackman. 42 yards on the hookup.
Well, here's Blackman, number 24. He's going to have help from Jonathan Cyprien, but Cyprien is late coming over, takes a bad angle, And there's the dangerous Julius Thomas in the open field for 42 big ones.
Fast and physical at 6'3", 229. Thick the handoff. Manning. Downfield. Incomplete. Decker, the intended target for Denver.
Those are the shot plays, that 42-yard completion from Peyton Manning to Demaryius Thomas that Gus Bradley was trying to prevent.
Well, he beat the coverage, basically. The safety just late coming over down that cover, too. It's a lot of ground to cover, but you got to be able to make that play.
Red. Omaha.
Running play. And it's Hillman. There's the talent of Hillman. Good burst and a change of pace. 12-yard gain for the second-year running back out of San Diego State.
Well, it's speed to the edge is what Hillman gives this team. Not bad having your big left tackle, Chris Clark, getting out in front, leading the way on Russell Allen.
Denver Broncos have won 16 straight regular season games. Manning underneath. Hillman gets to the 15-yard line. That's another first down for Denver. Blackman will get credit for the tackle for Jacksonville.
Different looking Denver offense, huh, Shannon?
Look like they found the rhythm, but they're running the football. They're picking up 4 or 5 yards a clip on the run now, and it's opening up some of those passing lanes.
Hillman stays in there on a 1st and 10 now from the 15 of the Jaguars. 2-point lead for Denver. 5:28 to go in the third. Thomas and Dreesen, double tight end set. Shotgun for Manning. And Hillman actually tripped on Dreesen, and that limited him to a gain of 1.5 yards on the play.
Now, Geno Hayes did a nice job of getting in the face of Joel Dreesen and pushing him back into Hillman. That's one way to stop him from getting to the edge.
Knowshon Moreno back on the field. First half, Denver had 10 first downs. They've got 10 in this third quarter. Manning pump. Manning has the time. Throws. It's caught by Julius Thomas, and he is spun down just short of the 7-yard line.
That big body, really, that's a basketball move right there. Posting up.
Can't coach size.
Went to the NCAA tournament twice with Portland State. Then after his basketball eligibility was done, he played football for a year. On 3rd and 2 for Denver. Third and short. Moreno keeps the legs turning for the touchdown. Knowshon Moreno. Denver builds on its lead.
Tremendous effort by Knowshon Moreno. Good blocking initially. Watch Beatles, number 66, clear the way, and then lowering his head on the rookie Cyprian and pulling Jags into the end zone. Another 8-play, 80-yard drive for the Broncos. That's 2 in a row.
With a 5-man box, Dan, you have no choice but to run the football.
Yeah, they're going to check out whether his knee was down before the ball crosses the plane. And the word is, nope, it wasn't down. Touchdown.
Extra point, not traded. And it's 28-19. Denver, 4:02 left here in the third. Knowshon Moreno, his second touchdown of the day. Denver puts a little space between them and Jacksonville. A combined 87 yards for Moreno on the ground and through the air. 2 touchdowns, both of them rushing touchdowns for Knowshon Moreno. And Denver now leads at 28-19 over Jacksonville. Prater kicks it off. And that's a shocker. Another touchback.
Yeah, Moreno looks like a man possessed. Before the game, he was yelling and getting right in the face of Jonathan Cyprian. And he got right in his face on that touchdown as well.
Don't miss a new episode of the hit drama Person of Interest. New night and time, Tuesday at 10, 9 Central only. CBS. Yeah, Moreno and Cyprien had to be separated prior to the game right at midfield. And those two went toe-to-toe on that last play with Moreno winning the battle. Fake the pitch. Henny spun down. Malik Jackson. 5th-round draft pick last year. Jackson getting to the QB.
Well, he had the big pass deflection in the first half where he prevented a touchdown. And here, watch the strength of Jackson as Henny gets grabbed by the right arm and has to go down. Great play by Malik Jackson. One-handed sack.
Chad Henne making his 3rd start of the season for the injured Blaine Gabbert. Maurice Jones-Drew.
The one thing the Jags had done a great job of was staying in front of the down and distance. Now all of a sudden you're back. Now it's about to be 3rd and 17, 3rd and 18.
Again, not a lot of choices here.
No.
But they did convert a long one in that first half.
They did.
3rd and 25, I believe it was.
3 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Denver has 7 defensive backs. On 3rd and long. Henne in trouble. Henne is dumped. Malik Jackson. He just owned that possession defensively for Denver.
Yeah, lining up as a nose guard here this time. This is inexcusable. That 3-man rush can sack a quarterback. 5 guys are blocking, but it's the loop and the speed.
I agree with you, Dan. That's totally unacceptable. You can't have 5 offensive linemen blocking 3 guys and one of them get home.
And now Brown Anger is punting it out of his own end zone. Trendon Holiday is going to get an opportunity from the 49. Holiday, little jab step, and driven backwards. They will mark him down at midfield, a 44-yard punt, as Przinski makes the play on special teams. A flag was thrown back on the other end of the field where Jacksonville was punting from.
During the kick, holding, number 53 of the receiving team. 10 yards from the end of the kick. First down.
So back it up to the 40-yard line for Denver. Next Sunday, NFL on CBS, doubleheader action. First, AFC East rivals go at it. Tom Brady and the Patriots take on Geno Smith and the Jets. Then, Joe Flacco leads the Ravens against Big Ben and the Steelers, or the Texans meet the Chiefs. It all starts with JB and Company, the NFL Today, presented by Southwest Airlines at noon Eastern. And the very handsome man in the middle of your screen, Shannon Sharp. 28-19, Denver in front. They get the football back with 2:08 to go in the 3rd. Knowshon Moreno, single setback. Play fake. Manning tosses over the middle, and Moreno drops the football.
Manning's play action faking is just a real beautiful thing to watch. He learned a lot from Steve DeBerg and from Boomer Esiason, and the way that he can convince linebackers and safeties that the running back has the ball is just remarkable.
Bruce Arians was his quarterback in Indy to start, and that's who showed him the DeBerg and Esiason tapes. As Manning completes underneath 4 yards to Joel Dreesen. Dreesen was supposed to be the starter, Shannon at tight end, and then because of injury, Julius Thomas keeps getting reps. First team, second team, third team reps.
The old Wally Pip Lou Gehrig story. He got hurt. Julius Thomas got all his reps, and he couldn't get him out the lineup.
So now it's 3rd and 6 for Denver. Crowd quiets down a bit with the Broncos on offense. Motion man is Thomas. Looking to convert on 3rd down. Moreno is hit, and he will not have enough for the first down. Mike Harris helped make sure of it. So clock is rolling with 1:18 left to play here in the 3rd, and the punter will come out.
It's another 3 and out for the Jaguar defense against this really prolific offense of the Broncos. That 3 and out, just something that doesn't happen very often.
And it all started with a drop on 1st down by Knowshon Moreno.
Yes, it did.
Put him behind the 8 ball.
3rd 3 and out today.
There's a fake. Denver down the field. 34 yards. And it's Bruton, the backup safety.
And really a great block here by the linebacker, lining up as an end. That's Nate Irving. Watch him hook the defender, and then down the sidelines goes Bruton. Some of their own medicine. Remember, back in the first quarter, the Jags.
That's at the point of the field. I think you should run a fake punt, Dan.
Especially with a 9-point lead, huh?
Right. Why not?
David Bruton, a special team standout, makes a big play for Denver. His first career rush as Ronnie Hillman gets the call, and we wrap up the third quarter. We'll head to the fourth. Denver 28, Jacksonville 19. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Denver outscores Jacksonville in the third quarter 14-7. They're looking for more. A 28-19 lead as we start the fourth. Here in the Mile High City, the Broncos trying to move to 6-0. Jacksonville hoping to avoid an 0-6 start. 5 receivers set. First play of the fourth quarter. On second down, Manning. Decker slipped down trying to catch the football on the low throw, and he's touched just inside the 15, a 4.5-yard gain.
And Decker yelling at his quarterback, get the ball up.
So you would have been offended if John Jefferson did that to you?
Well, a little bit, yeah. I mean, I'm trying my darndest to throw you a good pass. You may not see one for the rest of the day.
I would have never done that to number 7, John Elway.
No way.
But I know what's going to happen.
You get boxed out? You're shut out?
Yeah.
3rd and 7. Manning, protection is there. Manning into double coverage, but he hits Julius Thomas. Now, what did Manning say, Shannon, about Julius Thomas? He's raw.
Right.
This raw guy is still making plays like this in traffic.
And once he learns the little intricacies of playing the tight end position, he's a willing blocker. He's not great at it, but he's willing, and that's part of the battle. But he can catch the football, and he's a big physical target.
1st and goal now for the Broncos. Oh, Manning can't handle the snap. Jacksonville jumps on the football, and the Broncos turn it over deep in Jaguars territory.
Yeah, Mike Harris out-wrestled for the ball, got down low and got that recovery. Another bad snap here. Twice now we've seen this. Once on a center exchange and now a low snap by Ramirez. Watch Harris come in here for the recovery. Manning doesn't get down on it. Welker can't get back to it.
So Wes Welker, the motion man on the play, realized the ball was loose, but his momentum carried him, and it was Harris who had the better angle. The 3rd Denver turnover of the afternoon. Jacksonville gets it back. 28-19 Denver. Early stages, 4th quarter. On 1st down from the Jacksonville 6. Play action. Henning sidearms it to Mike Brown with a catch across the 10-yard line. And a modest gain of 5 on 1st down.
Now that's just what Henning gives you. He'll make a decision. He'll read the defense. He'll hang in there as long as possible. That time, pressure was coming from behind, and if he got sacked there, it would have been a safety.
Gus Bradley said Henny's got some leadership abilities. The guys seem to respond to him. He's got a presence about him, and he certainly has the arm strength. He's got 201 yards through the air. Handoff. Jones-Drew still going. He was able to break free as he was hit by Sylvester Williams. As we send it to New York, NFL Today update. It's JB and Dan.
All right, take a look at that Saints at the Patriots.
And yes, and Kyrie Robinson, he bounces outside on a 3-yard run after a 9-play, 67-yard drive, ties the game 17-17 in New England.
Battling up in Foxborough, back to Heine, Dan, and Shannon.
So good battle there. New Orleans trying to stay undefeated. Denver trying to stay unbeaten here. Henny on 3rd and 2. Justin Blackmon. Outstanding grab by Blackmon along the perimeter. Working against Champ Bailey. 19 yards and a new set of downs for the Jaguars.
And you just talked about the arm strength of Henny. How about the hand strength of Justin Blackmon?
If I'm not mistaken, I think Roger Cromartie might have blew that coverage. He was supposed to sink, and he took the guy inside. That's what he and Chris Harris were talking about.
11 catches now for 148 for Blackmon.
We approach 12 minutes to go now in this fourth quarter. 28-19, Denver. Jones-Drew. And spilled out as he crossed the 35-yard line. 5-yard gain. Kayvon Webster over there defensively.
Huge afternoon for Justin Blackmon. Crossing routes, a lot of slant routes, but just showing his versatility, his intelligence to get down. There's that slant route. Career high, 11 catches.
Blackmon 80 yards after the catch. 2nd and 5. Fake the handoff. Henny will throw into a crowd. It's intercepted. Picked off by Webster. First career interception for Kayvon Webster out of South Florida. A 3rd-round draft pick. Jacksonville turns it over. Denver's got a 28-19 lead on the Jaguars. Jacksonville had been able to avoid turnovers until that one from Chad Henne. After Denver put pressure on Henne, Broncos take over, 28-19 lead. Wes Welker. Catch and run for 5.
That pass rush came from number 90, Sean Phillips here. He's going to get inside Austin Pastor and just get a hand on this ball as it comes out of Henne's hand. Just the left hand there. Perfect timing by Phillips.
2nd and 5 now for the Broncos. Manning steps and throws in stride. Maurice Thomas. It'll be 1st and goal for the Broncos. 31 yards on the pass play.
Low snap again. But these are the rail shots that head coach Gus Bradley from the Jags was trying to prevent.
And Justin Blackmon was trying to push him out of bounds on that route. Didn't have the strength to do it.
3rd catch of the day, 78 yards for Thomas. 1st and goal for Denver. Manning, running play. And Moreno is dragged down. Picks up a couple. Andre Branch combining with Posluszny. And clock is moving as we approach 10 minutes to go in this 4th quarter.
I think the Broncos' ability to run the ball in the second half has been another big reason why they've been able to hit these shots along the sideline, Dan.
Only had 35 rushing in the first half. So far in the second half, 81 yards on the ground, Shan.
Shotgun on a 2nd and goal. Running play again. And Moreno is stopped. Mike Harris getting him down low and held to no gain on the play. Denver won't huddle up here. This is 3rd and goal now for the Broncos. And a big play defensively here for Jacksonville. Trying to stay in this game with 9:25 left. Shotgun, Manning. Another running play. And it's Moreno. His 3rd touchdown of the day.
Another good catch by Peyton Manning. Another low snap by Manny Ramirez. With the offensive line, Beatles and Clark on the left side. Watch these guys right in front here. Chris Cooper coming over, making a big block there for the Broncos.
Matt Prater on for the extra point. 35-19 Denver. They have outscored the Jaguars 21-7 in the second half, and they build a comfortable lead at home.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon. Verizon's 4G LTE is in more places than any other 4G network. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. And by Kelley Blue Book. Everything you need to make a smart new car decision is at KBB.com.
Coming up, time permitting, after the game, the Subway postgame show. JB, Dan Marino, special guest, Bart Scott. All the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Subway postgame show. 5 plays, 41 yards after the interception from Henny. Moreno, a new career high, 3 rushing touchdowns in a game, and Denver leads it 35-19. Prater kicks it off, and that one will be a touchback. It's about much more than pink on the field. Together, the NFL and the American Cancer Society are helping women across the country make a crucial catch. Hear the personal impact stories and find out how you can help finish the fight against breast cancer at NFL.com/pink. And at halftime today, the Broncos honored nearly 100 breast cancer survivors, VIP guests selected from Susan G. Komen for the Cure Denver Metropolitan, and nominations from DenverBroncos.com and the team's season ticket holder pool. On first down, set it up for Jones-Drew, and he was driven to the sideline. 4-yard gain. Trevathan and Rogers Cromartie combining on the hit.
And you talked about the career afternoon for Knowshon Moreno and the fact that he's on pace for 1,000 yards. Well, that was his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. That already matches his career best set in 2009 with 7 touchdown rushes so far. This is the 6th game of the year.
I think he's going to get a few more.
2nd and 6 now. Underneath, Taufo. And he's hit just short of the 30-yard line. 5-yard gain, but it looks to be about inches short of a first down as Chris Harris made the play defensively for Denver. 3rd and 1. We're down to 8:12 to go. Henny keeps it himself. And it all depends on where they're going to mark it. And Jeff Triplett saying it will be enough. He's right on the line. Ninth all-time meeting between these two teams. Jacksonville actually leads the series with a record of 5-3. They last met in 2010. David Garrard had 3 touchdowns in a 24-17 Jaguars win. First down for Jacksonville. 7.5 to go. Henny, the play action. It's dropped. Taufo.
And if he holds on to this ball, that's a touchdown.
Well, if Nate Irving doesn't make that play right there to distract him a little bit, you're absolutely right, Shannon. I mean, we got tough camera people. Staying with the shot. Didn't flinch at all.
Henny now 19 of 31, 229 yards and a pick. 2nd and 10 for Jacksonville. Henny. He's got Blackman. Justin Blackman, 19 yards. You combine last week's effort with this week's, and Blackman has put together an outstanding 2-game run.
That's out of the slot again, Shannon.
And with the exception of maybe those 2 out routes, everything has been inside.
136 yards last week. He's got 167 today. Completion down the field to Clay Harbor. No Mercedes Lewis. Lewis, a strained calf. He's played only 2 snaps this season. They lost Alan Reisner to injury.
Well, Nacho is injured. He doesn't want to come out, but he's going to have to as the training staff comes out. But good job by Henny finding the wide open tight end. Misread in the coverage.
So the veteran Mike Adams will step in for Duke Iheanacho. 6:54 to go here in the 4th. Iheanacho has been a pleasant surprise. He was part of the Denver practice squad. Didn't start playing football until junior year of high school.
This is still a 2-possession game. Trailing by 16.
First down inside the Denver 30. Running play to Jones-Drew. Maurice Jones-Drew spins his way for a gain of 3 on the play as Unrein and Jackson collaborate defensively.
And you go back to when the Jaguars went for a 2 after their touchdown.
That's the only thing. When you go for a 2 so early in the ball game and you don't make it, you find yourself constantly chasing those points.
They're going to have to get a pair of them if they can get a pair of touchdowns just to tie.
They had a season-high 96 rushing yards last week. They have 71 on the ground here today. This is a 2nd and 7 now. Under 6 minutes to go. On line to Harbor. And Harbor very close to first down yardage. Depends on where they spot it for him, and it is enough.
But, you know, they're not hurrying enough. And they're going back in the huddle. They should be at the line of scrimmage. They got to realize who's on the other sideline. The Broncos and Peyton Manning. They've got to score as quickly as possible.
Maybe they know something we don't.
9th play of the drive. This is a 5-receiver set. We're now under 5.5 to go in this 4th quarter. Shotgun, Henne, high snap, he handles it. Jones-Drew trying to spin out of trouble, and Webster was there to greet him. It's a loss of 1 on the pass play. Clock continues to roll. No sense of urgency here for the Jaguars.
Dan, when you call 2 plays, if you go in the huddle once, when you call 2 plays, you just line up at the line of scrimmage and run your offense.
Absolutely, or just call the plays from the line of scrimmage. You're absolutely right, Shannon.
10th play of the drive. Todman in the backfield. Fake the handoff, and the flags come down.
Pastor offsides. Came up out of his stance.
Both start. Number 67 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. It's still 2nd down.
Pastor, a young player in his first official year out of Virginia. Had been playing guard and moved over to the tackle position after the shakeup when they traded Eugene Monroe to Baltimore. They moved Jokel to the left side. He got injured. Bradfield was playing the right side. He was moved to the left side. And it's now 2nd and 16, and we've got 4:47 to go. Henne. A rope to Blackman. And Blackman able to secure it. Brought down at the 11. That's a 13-yard gain.
Do not let Justin Blackman cross your face. Simple.
And if you do, you better hang on to an ankle. Great tackle. Saved the touchdown.
Blackman is closing in on 200 yards receiving. He's got 180. We approach 4 minutes to play. This is a 3rd and 3. Obviously 4-down territory, down by 16 points. Henne looks to the end zone. Blackman took a stab at it, and it's incomplete. It's 4th down.
He's played a great game, but I need a little bit more effort than that, Dan, on that play.
Yeah, I think he was a little bit worried about contact. He only puts out the one hand there. Champ Bailey right on his back. Ball clearly hits the ground before Raheem Moore can pick it up.
4th down for the Jaguars. Denver trying to end this one here with 4:01 to go. Henne on 4th down. Henne trying to run. Now he throws. Incomplete. Blackman. It was on his hands. He took a hit. And Jacksonville has given it to Denver on downs. Denver's got a 35-19 lead with possession and just 3:54 on the clock. Coming up, time permitting, after the game, the Subway postgame show. JB, Dan Marino, special guest Bart Scott. The latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Subway postgame show. Denver takes over after Jacksonville didn't convert on 4th down. Eric Decker is stood up just short of the 15-yard line by Russell Allen. 4-yard gain.
Well, Henne needed to get to the 7-yard line for a first down. The 7-yard line is right here. And he sees an opening, but he also sees Blackman right here. Tough decision for the quarterback, Henne.
Pass was offline, and Henne electing to go for the score instead of the 3 or 4 yard scramble that would have kept the drive alive. Clock is rolling now. We approach 3 minutes left. Jacksonville has all 3 timeouts remaining and a 2-minute warning. Knowshon Moreno cannot bust through Geno Hayes and the rest of the Jacksonville defense, and a timeout taken. 3:07 mark of the fourth. Denver leads it by 16.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Subway. Try the Tuscan Chicken Melt $6 footlong special today. And by Toyota Care. Scheduled maintenance, no cost.
5-0 against 0-5 here in Denver. Denver and Jacksonville, 35-19. Broncos lead it with 3:07 to go, trying to convert on a 3rd and 6 here and use more clock. Jaguars do have 2 timeouts remaining. Shotgun for Manning. Steps up, Manning throws to Knowshon Moreno. And it is enough for a Denver first down out near the 25-yard line.
Moreno dropped a couple of easier ones. That was a great catch. Very reminiscent of what he did last week against the Cowboys.
That's exactly right. Scoop that one up right off the turf.
So Denver not in any hurry now. 7th catch of the day, 63 yards. 3 tight ends in this formation with Thomas, Dreesen, and Tammy.
20.
Motion man is the former Colt. Whoa, Peyton Manning. Manning and Moreno not on the same page.
And I wonder whose mistake this was.
I see Monty Ball coming in, so I'll give you one guess.
I think number 27 went the wrong way, and I think Peyton just let him know about it. That look tells it all.
Timeout call by Jacksonville. It stops the clock with 2:20 left. So Peyton Manning next week will head to Indianapolis to take on Andrew Luck and the Colts.
Indy.
You like Indy?
I like Indy. I like Indy.
With all the emotion there, with Peyton Manning coming back, they're going to do something prior to the game as Manning takes the field. How about the idea of going from Peyton Manning to Andrew Luck, and you've got the quarterback position covered for 28 years?
Well, and think about the franchise. Johnny Unitas, followed by Burt Jones. Then they get Manning, and now Luck. That's decades of excellence.
Monte Ball with the drop.
That was a great call. The guy just dropped the ball.
Well, that's twice he's dropped passes. Remember, I told you he doesn't have one reception on the year, and I think we know why.
Yeah, maybe his arms are too big or something, Dave. You see?
Do you think he eats with those hands? Starved to death.
So now it's 3rd and 15 with 2:16 left. Jacksonville has the 1 timeout and the 2-minute warning. Manning on 3rd down. Catch made by Hillman, and Hillman will be dropped short of the 25, and Denver has to punt it. This will roll down to the 2-minute warning. 35-19, Denver in front of the Jaguars. We'll come back with the finish here in the Mile High City after this. For those of you expecting to see 60 minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS. The game between the Jaguars and the Broncos. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, Shannon Sharp. Our score, Denver 35, Jacksonville 19. 60 minutes will be seen immediately after the game, except on the West Coast, where it will be seen at its regularly scheduled time. 4th down, Britton Colquitt on. Ace Sanders waiting for it at his own 24. High kick. Sanders will move forward and catch it at the 39. Slow down there. Sanders trying to circle And he's brought down at the 36 by Virgil Green on special teams. Tonight on CBS, it begins with 60 Minutes and a child prodigy's work on cancer, followed by new episodes of The Amazing Race, The Good Wife, and The Mentalist. Only CBS.
Okay, Coach Sharp, what do we do to win this ball game if we're the Jags?
Let's not do what we did last time we had the ball, huddle up after every possession. Let's not do that. Call plays from the at the line of scrimmage and just try to get a big play.
And pray?
Yeah, that would help.
Down by 16. They need 2 touchdowns, 2 two-point conversions. Underneath, 2-4 set. And only picks up a yard on the play. Clock is moving. Jacksonville has the 1 timeout left. 1:35 and counting.
6 defensive backs for the Broncos.
Second and long. Another catch made by Blackman. Justin Blackman with his 14th catch. That one covers 10 yards. He's got 190 on the game. So first down for the Jaguars. We hit 1 minute to play. It's Forsett with another grab.
Yeah, it's just not going to get it done. All these short passes.
No.
It's tough to throw deep into this type of coverage, but you got to take your chances. Now you burn your last timeout.
1984 Houston Oilers, the last team to lose their first 6 games by 10 or more points. It's been double digits all the way for Jacksonville on the wrong end. So final timeout called with 56 seconds left, and there is the executive vice president of football operations, John Elway, took over his current role back in 2011, and he has pushed all the right buttons for Denver.
I think he was that position when he was playing, wasn't he? Executive vice president of football operations?
Shannon, was he?
Close.
I know whenever we played him, it certainly seemed like a vice president, even a president.
2nd and 7 now. Henny looks downfield. Ball was tipped and intercepted. Danny Trevathan has just put this one in the books. Sean Phillips again getting a piece of it. The Denver Broncos will move to 6-0 on the season, and the Jaguars will drop to 0-6.
Yeah, another deflected pass. That's twice now that Henny's been intercepted off of deflections. Trevathan looking for the tight end, and now he's just going to react to this ball as it was hit again by Sean Phillips.
Up and under.
So the 3rd interception of the season for Trevathan. They're looking to see whether or not he got it cleanly.
Yeah, yes. He did. Right hand under the ball.
Yep.
He was a solid contributor as a rookie, and now in his 2nd year, he is one of the go-to guys on defense. Peyton Manning takes a knee. All the talk this week. Jacksonville, the biggest underdog in NFL history. The Jaguars held their own. But in the end, the Denver Broncos take care of business. 35-19. That's your final score here at Sports Authority Field at Mile High. Denver remains undefeated. John Fox and company now 6-0. The Jaguars still looking for their first win at 0-6. Shannon, a pleasure. Great having you.
Guys, thanks for opening up your house to me.
Oh, great to have you. NFL Today Road Trip, Shannon Sharp joining us. Want to remind you that tonight CBS begins with 60 Minutes, followed by new episodes of The Amazing Race, The Good Wife, and The Mentalist. So for Hall of Famers Dan Fouts and Shannon Sharp, I'm Ian Eagle. So long from the Mile High City. You've been watching the NFL on CBS.